And this one, I get invited by a good friend of mine out to one of his racing events at this track, just about an hour away from where I live. Once again, I don't give myself enough time to talk leading up to the first photo, so I'm going to segue right into this one. This one was one of my favorite ones just right out of the gate. I think this one's got great composition. The layering's really nice between the two different subjects, you know, the two dudes standing there, which ended up being a part of my friend's party. And yeah, this one filled out really nice. Them kind of spectating with the same hat, and then you know, the cars kind of drifting across in the background there. Yeah, super happy with this one. This one was awesome. Aside from that, I've never shot any event like this before. This is all new to me, so I don't really know how to approach things like this yet. There's like a lot of action and people going on at the same time. So I'm kind of spend a lot of time figuring out how to capture these images. I think because of my fixed focal length, you know, I was kind of limited in getting cool shots of the cars on the track, you know, doing their thing, but I get a few cool ones, so let's get into it. This one was a good kind of, you know, middle of the road shot. I like the layering of the cars, you know, lined up ready to go, waiting for their turn to go drift. And I like the dude kind of in stride there in the front, almost like he's a part of the race, you know, unintentionally. But yeah, this one was another kind of general nice one. I like all the black and just a couple pops of red, kind of feels uniform. Yeah, pretty cool. I'm happy with this one. I really like this one as well. All the little kind of pops of red worked really nice for me, and then you know, kind of contrasted with that plain brick in the background. Obviously the helmet stands out the most with the kind of silver flames running up the side, which, you know, leads into his red shoes. And then the girl sitting in the passenger seat with the fan just kind of blocking her face. Yeah, I really like the feel of this one. This one's got that you know, kind of street photography composition that every now and then I get one that falls nicely in place, and I'm happy about it, and this is one of those. Like the emotion in this one. This is actually my friend that invited me out to this event, and yeah, I really like this one. This one's kind of like in the moment, you know, he's actively reversing, and then the kind of the curvature of the window kind of cutting through his face while he's, like, you know, focused. I thought it was pretty cool, and I like the little details to the Mustang. That kind of give it character, like the paint chipping on the door, and then you know, the kind of the purple sticker running on the top, just like all these little imperfections that make it cool to me. So yeah, I really liked this one. Yeah, this one's cool. To make a critique on this one, I think is the thing that I want to do most. There just isn't enough action in these shots. This is about as close as I can get. Once again, this is my friend Jake. I probably should have slowed down my shutter speed a little bit. I think this would have been a lot cooler if I tracked him as the subject, and with the slower shutter speed, the Mustang would have been a lot more blurry, if I grabbed it nicely. But I only had one chance at this, so this is what I got. And there is a little blur to the car itself, which is cool enough. It kind of it separates it from the background being in focus. But I wish there was more of a streak of blur cutting across the screen on this one. I think it would have been so much cooler. But yeah, work in progress. We're always learning. This is a great example of, if I were just closer, it would have been a lot cooler. If somehow I could have been in the racetrack to shoot. But, that's the limitation of a fixed focal length, like a 35 millimeter frame. You can only get so close, you can only capture so many things. And, I stylized it by shooting through this hole in the fence that felt intentional. Like, I feel like photographers probably drop their lens in this pocket past the fence to kind of get the shots they want safely. I just kind of incorporated the fence because I knew that I couldn't get any closer. So to make it cooler, I added it, and I think it really worked for this one. I like that he's dead center in the frame, and I love that there's smoke coming off of the back tires from the drift. It just, because he's so distant, it feels lacking in a lot of ways. Not as punchy as I wanted it to be, but a cool kind of street photography film, or filter to the kind of feel of the whole image that I like. Here I start to kind of fall back into my street photography mode, and the way that I include, several subjects in an interesting way. And I think I did that well here. Both guys using the hoses to cool off their tires, kind of in the same, posture, and then both their helmets are on top of their cars. And then the cars are kind of angled in a cool way. Made it feel fun. This one has enough structured balance to it that it ranked high for me. at this point, I'm walking with my friend and his friends over to greet another guy that's got a Mustang similar to my friend Jake's. So I'm doing my thing and bring my camera and take some photos. So I get a few of this guy with the umbrella that I find interesting. I think this one was probably my favorite out of the few I got of this guy, just kind of hanging out with his umbrella. He was like hyper aware of me for whatever reason, so I couldn't get away with a ton. I definitely hip fired this one. I wasn't even looking down the viewfinder, and this one's great. I like that he was looking at me. You know, he's kind of he's definitely checking me out and see what I'm doing. There's a ton of character and a ton of pieces of information, like in his shirt. Like the NASCAR shirt, the black umbrella is a really interesting aspect. And then the tools in the water to the right, all really, really nice. The frame's filled out nicely and there's not any wasted space. And yeah, I'm drawn to that. I like that when that happens. Okay, at this point, one of the things that we had talked about doing ahead of time was hopping in his car and doing the drifting with him with my camera to see if I can get anything cool. I definitely do get a few cool images. I took a ton of photos in here, and I think I was mostly having a great time. So because of that, it impacted a lot of the images, which is totally okay. I think sometimes it's okay just to kind of live in the moment and not just focus too much on trying to document the moment, so I kind of let myself have fun here. Like I said, a few of these images are good, but just not as impactful or punchy as I'd like. And yeah, those will be coming up in a moment here.
That's incredibly fun. If there might have been some coolant. Oh, what that mean? I don't know. We're about to find out. Hopefully nothing too crazy.
Whoa.